My name is Yolanda Gonzalez. Welcome to my studio. I am painting Maria Jimenez Torres, who is now the executive director of Plaza de la Raza. I have known Maria for several years now. So she has known me. Were you there for the Nuevo Chicano Art Show? So she was there from the very beginning. And I've always had a great rapport with Maria. She's always been very kind to me. And Plaza has always been a home for me on many levels.
One of my first exhibitions was at Plaza de la Raza, the Nuevo Chicano Art Show. Plaza de la Raza, in collaboration with the Japanese American National Museum, had an exhibition called Finding Family Stories. Plaza de la Raza recommended my art to be in the exhibition. I was very proud to create artworks that explored the lineage of artists in my family dating back to 1877.
Being raised in a family that were artists, my grandmother sat me down, who was a painter and a pianist, at 9 or 8 years old, and she painted with me. We worked on a painting together, and I was thrilled. And I think I always knew I had a passion for art. My sister got a watercolor set, and I was very attracted to it. And I always loved anything that was different. So at that point, I loved that process of creativity, but I didn't quite understand what it was. Even though there were paintings in our house, I didn't understand what it was until I was older, and until I got that scholarship, and I really realized that there was something there for me where I felt at home and safe and empowered. The art has always empowered me and taken really good care of me, and so that's where my heart lies. I was the youngest of 6. That's why I'm a brat. Maria could attest to that, right? But I'm a good brat, huh, Maria? People and the relationships to people really feed the soul. Most of the people I create are either from documented pictures that I've taken or are sitting in front of me. And I focus on the portrait. I focus on the world of the portrait, the eyes. And sometimes I do interiors, their environment, but most of the time I focus on the portrait. I tend to use acrylic on canvas. I also use watercolor, and I also use ceramics. I was an introverted kid, unlike now. I was a very quiet kid. I was a very introspective. I was very sensitive. I lived in a little fantasy world. I was into music. I was really into the movies. Like, I was really into 2 movies when I was growing up. One of them was Tommy, and the other one was Cabaret. I used red a lot. And when I was younger, I used red a lot. And then I realized that I should change the reds because I wasn't the same red person anymore. I was a different kind of red person.
Well, you probably get sick of
I love red. You could tell my car outside. I love red, but I think I needed to change it up. So now I work differently, and I'm actually starting to paint a little looser. So I'm very excited about that. And I think at this age, I don't have to. I paint. Not that I never painted what I wanted, but I paint what I want. This is a portrait of Scott Tennant. Scott Tennant I've known for maybe 22 years. Scott is a professional classical guitarist. He plays guitar with the Los Angeles Guitar Quartet. I think he's been with them about 40 years. This is about the third portrait I've created of Scott. I created a portrait of him about 21 years ago. And so this portrait was created here at my studio about 2 or 3 years ago. And Scott played his guitar while I painted him. So this painting was created in about 45 minutes. I love the movement of the hands, and it did capture Scott. Marisa in burgundy dress. Marisa Gomez is a model and muse. I've been painting her for about 15 years. Marisa is a singer and a wonderful model. She's been an inspiration to me for years. For me, being a Chicana is living in the U.S. and having Mexican blood run through my veins, and having the blood of my ancestors that painted in Mexico in 1877. And then my grandmother who painted in the 20s, and then she came here, and then my mother who came here from Mexico. And so I'm a Chicana because my Mexican blood runs through my veins. And there's been I came onto the Chicano scene in 82, and I had no clue what it was. So I learned from Plaza de la Raza, from South Hall Graphics, what the Chicano art scene was. And I was very proud to be a part of it, because a Russian artist teacher at Art Center would say, Gonzalez, why are you using the primary colors? What's with the colors? Like, he was giving us a European palette, and I was painting in primary colors. And I didn't know why I was painting in primary colors. It just came out. And so he kept telling me, like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? And then when I went to South Hall Graphics and Plaza de la Raza, I realized that it's in my blood, that I'm a Chicana. So I've been creating ceramics for about the last 28 years. And it's such an organic medium. And this is the first time that I've created something this large. She does have a bottom half to her. So this is the second of this particular series, La Infanta. And the first one is at the Ultimate in Huntington Park. And she stands around 7 feet tall. And we call her La Infanta en el Jardín. And so these begin with orbs, and then I sculpt their faces and put earrings on them and give them stripes. This particular one is a little more intense than my other ceramic pieces. But I also, on this particular piece, I use a technique called the carborundum, which is a print technique that I learned in Japan. And so I just transfer that technique over to my ceramics, and it actually worked really well. So my ceramics come small little girls, which are really fun. I love to create these little entities with their chongos. And I also create vases. These are all handmade. hand built and hand glazed. So these are my cerámicas. I think Zoom has just exploded for artists during the pandemic. And I think the creative process has kept in full swing during the pandemic. And I feel that the energy of the creative process is partially a big reason why some people have been able to continue during the pandemic. I've continued to post my artwork, my journey, what I've been doing. And I think that people, it takes them out of the thought of, we are in a pandemic, we are in quarantine, how much longer, so they see what the artists are doing. And I really believe that the creative process is healing and hopefully has added to some of the healing, whether it be emotional or spiritual or metaphysical healing to the world, to the universe, and to people. My name is Yolanda Gonzalez. Thanks for visiting.